What do you have in mind, end of the week, early next week?
I don't know.
I think a substantive, smart bill is more important than a quick press conference.
You don't have a goal in mind, though, of when you...
Like, no, that's our goal.
I think that's our goal.
We're not pushing to the point where let me just say, we're working very hard to get these through, but this has to be something that everybody feels comfortable with. So we're not going to push this to the point where we start offending people. We have to come together as a caucus and a group, and so does the minority party. And these bills will come up as they go through the process, and we're just letting them take their course. We're doing the best we can, and everybody wants their input on it, and we've discovered that, and they're getting their input, and we'll see where it takes.
When you say you're just letting them take their course, does that mean you don't anticipate being able to take a caucus position on the other bills?
Oh, I
No,
hope that's not the case. We would love to take the caucus position sooner than better, or sooner than later, but we'll just see where it goes, Lisa.
And Senator Jones, would you like to see these rolled out in the first couple of weeks? Is that a
Well,
priority?
I think they've been vetted quite carefully, and I know that we do have one Democratic bill from the House, and I believe it's Representative Cosgrove, is that the one you're referring to? That, as I understand it, would make it so you could use your campaign funds for your own personal use, as I understand it. So I'm hoping that will get folded in there. I think that's a good bill, and I appreciate the majority party, including us in the discussion, and we had a little discussion today about it because we hadn't seen the bills before today. So, that's one reason we're waiting to see what happens in the next several days, and hopefully it'll come out soon. I think it's kind of clouding over a lot of things. I'd like to see it pass fairly soon so we know what we're dealing with.
Sort of on the edge of ethics.
You're on the edge of it?
I certainly am, if not over the edge, but this is the question, sort of on the edge. You said that you wanted to get to the bottom of the situation with Senator Kilpack. Did you know when you said it, had it been around her, had you heard that Alan Dayton was another lobbyist who was with Mr. Walker and Senator Kilpack?
Are you telling me he was?
I'm asking if you had heard that.
I had a list of probably almost everybody that was at the Hughes fundraiser suggested that those people were all involved that way. So I just wanted to know what was going on. I've been asking that. Just for clarification, this is not a Senate inquisition. That it's Michael Wattups asking some questions just to make sure that I know so that we can move forward rather than letting us be ahead. So keep us on that one.
Assuming he was there, I take it he broke no rules or no laws, or anybody else who was there. It's legal to go to Liquid Joe's and drink if you.
As far as I know.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Well, you passed the law. Okay. Had you heard that it was Alan Dayton, Mark Walker, and Sheldon Kilpack at the table?
I've heard a number of stories.
Was that one of them?
That was one of them.
Have you heard, were there any other lobbyists there that you heard?
I've heard that there were others, yes.
Okay, so
but I haven't had any of them confirmed except for the two that have received the publicity.
Have you asked the lobbyists whom you've heard? Have you said, were you there?
Most of them I have.
Have you asked Mr. Dayton?
Yes, I have.
Did he tell you?
He told me that he wasn't involved in the drinking.
He said he wasn't involved in the drinking. Was he at Liquid Joe's?
He didn't answer that question.
Okay, he said he wasn't involved in the drinking at Liquid Joe's.
See, it's clear the president isn't nearly as good a interrogator as you are.
Okay. Have you?
Will you write the questions down?
Do you know anyone else who was there?
I don't.
Have you asked people if they were there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so far as you know, you haven't asked if they were there. So far as you know, it's only Walker and Gooch and Kilpack who were at the table.
I haven't spoken with Walker yet. I know that Kilpack was there.
Have you why don't you just call Senator Kilpack and say, would you tell me who was at your table? I bet he would.
Senator Kilpack resigned, he's no longer senator.
Nonetheless, he can tell you, just as a friend.
I want to go back to the ethics and make a point that I think is really important. Everyone that I talk to, and I take this for every senator, is very, very concerned about ethics. And I think we also understand just the practical problems as you start making definitions. And I've shared a number as I got involved in this initiative process, and there's huge gaps in that. And I think as we have seen that, and now start drafting our own, we have the input of legislators who want to protect themselves. They don't want to be charged or make a technical violation. And I think that's part of the process that Senator Jenkins is seeing, is that people want to make sure they're not close to the edge. And therefore, language needs to be worked out so you're not in a violation. But I think there's quite a difference in how I would conduct a campaign in Rich County and Cache County than probably Senator Watts would in Salt Lake. Because by and large, I get to be pretty well known in my areas because of just the nature of it. So I think that's the thing that we're getting input. And again, I appreciate
He gets a wider margin than I did.
And Senator Jones, do you expect to take a position as a caucus on the House package of ethics bills, or present your own, or?
We don't have unanimous support for all of them either. I mean, I think there are, some people have issues with certain ones of them, but I would say on the whole that our caucus is supportive of ethics reform, with perhaps one or two exceptions.
So you could deliver a majority of votes in your caucus?
Yes.
For that package?
Yes.
Brock from the AP texted in a question. They want to know what the Senate wants to hear from the State of the State address tonight.
But the revenues have turned up.
Couldn't that be a dream?
A huge endowment, right?
No, that's one-time money. I want to hear that people are working, our unemployment rate's at 2%, people are working and paying taxes and enjoying Utah. So I want to hear.
I think that's a good aspirations, that we have our unemployment situation improving, people going back to work. I think we expect to hear from the governor that businesses are finding Utah an attractive place to bring their companies and expand. I'm expecting that he'll say something about ethics in there. It seems to be a very public-oriented issue right now. I think he'll talk about the tax situation, how we don't want to put a damper on business growth through our tax policy. I have no clue about any of the specifics. That's why we go to hear and see what he'll say.
Okay, let's get to coffee.
Thank you.
May I just say that we will have a response to the State of the State address that Democrats do, and it's available upstairs on the fourth floor. And invite you to use that.
And you'll be there tonight, of course.
Pardon me?
You'll be there tonight, of course.
The worst thing.
That's right.
Mayor,